My name is Andrew Stotz, and I want to welcome you to this Global Equity Valuation Competition. What we're going to hear from is the finalist, one of our finalists, Divyansh, who is doing a presentation on Tesla. This is going to be interesting. All right, let's bring him in.
Hey, hi Andrew. Thank you for the introduction.
Yep, and let me bring up your screen here. Hold on. And I think we are ready. So I'm going to exit now, and then you take it away. You've got 6 minutes. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, I'm
I'm
exiting
already.
now, so you can start now.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, for the introduction. Today I'll be presenting my equity research report on Tesla Incorporation. Tesla is basically a US-based electronic vehicle company as well as clean energy company. They have majorly three sectors: automotive, energy generation, and storage. Now, one of the reasons I picked up Tesla is because of my keen interest in the automobile industry, as well as my love for the vehicles. So I'll be presenting a sell recommendation on Tesla. If you can see on the right side of the screen, you'll see the current price of Tesla was 438 USD as of 15 January. Below it, there are different target prices, which are 327, 249, and 182. These are the blue base case and gray case scenarios based on my DCF model. And we'll be going ahead with the base case scenario. As per the base case scenario, you can see that it is overvalued by a high 43%. On the left hand side, there's a chart which basically showcases the decline of Tesla, where the automotive sector of Tesla is doing far more worse compared to the energy sector and the storage sector. On the right hand side, you can see Tesla's biggest competitor, BYD, and how initially Tesla was the forerunner in the EV space. But in the near future, in the recent year, BYD has overtaken Tesla. Now, I'll be breaking down the automotive industry for you guys and how the price war or the EV war between Tesla and BYD is going on, and then we'll jump onto the financials of the company. On the next slide, for the automotive industry, US, China, and Europe holds 95% of the industry. In the year 2024 itself, the whole there were 17 million vehicles were sold, from which China sold around 11 million vehicles, Europe sold 3.1 million vehicles, and US sold 1.6 million vehicles. So this is somewhat of an idea of the whole automotive industry. Now let's talk about Tesla and BYD. Now Tesla started as a fourth runner in the EV space, but BYD have overtaken them in the recent year. To be very exact, in FY 2025, they were the global leaders for the EV. Now, what makes BYD so special? First of all, is their supply chain model, where Tesla firmly believes in in-house production as well as a D2C sales model, which has proven to be costlier for them. Whereas BYD firmly more believes in the local production and working in the local distribution of the vehicles. If we talk about their base models also, BYD has a base model of Auto 3, and Tesla has a base model of Model 3. If you'll see the price range in different countries also, Tesla model is almost sold thrice or two times the price of BYD. Now, there are various reasons. As I mentioned, first is the supply chain. Second is the tariff issues. Third is the local production means cheaper materials, easier distribution to the customers, easier accessibility. So this is how we can somewhat get an idea that BYD is leading the race uh, versus Tesla. On the screen, you can see that Tesla was able to deliver 1.8 million vehicles in 2024, whereas BYD was able to deliver 3 million vehicles, which is like somewhat of twice the number of vehicles delivered by Tesla. Another major factor is that the base model of BYD vehicles have smaller batteries, and in a EV vehicle, battery plays the major role. It's more cheaper, it's easier to assemble. These were some of the factors between BYD and Tesla, and finally, we'll be jumping to the financials of the Tesla. So, in front of you is my P&L, where the first initial 3 years are based by the annual report, and the next 5 years are forecasted data. The common trend you see here is that the revenue increase is growing because Tesla has majorly market share in the Northern America region, whereas BYD has a more share in Latin America, as well as South Asian nations and China. Though the revenue is increasing, the same can't be said for the profitability for Tesla. The Tesla's profit, if you'll see the note below, it says that the near-term profitability of Tesla has been always under extreme pressure and scrutiny, majorly because of the price reductions, rising operating expenses, as well as elevated depreciation, which is linked to their expansion. Tesla is currently trying to expand in the European market, but the European market in itself is staggering. So they're not seeing much of the success.
1 minute left.
Yeah. Other than this, a major factor spoken by Michael Burry, one of the famous equity research, is the compensation package of Tesla. In the recent news, Elon must have asked for a 1 trillion compensation for his work in the company, and it was approved by around 75% votes by the shareholders, which is an alarming sign, as on a year-to-year basis, the share price is declining, as well as there's no buyback option for the shareholders. All these summed up together looks like a red flag to me, and I would personally state that the low profitability in near time and all these other factors coupled together, it makes a sell on the Tesla. That's all from my end.
Okay, excellent. So let's go through some question. Himani, one of your judges, says, how much of Tesla's valuation depends on self-driving becoming successful?
Okay, yeah, robotaxi and self-driving are a major factor, but in current market, what Tesla initially said was that they are going for the cheapest model because of two factors. Well, first is the cost saving. They are trying to tap into that market, and secondly is they're trying to replace the petrol vehicles. The cost saving is not yet fulfilled, which we can clearly see because BYD have come up with far more, you can say, cheaper and superior models compared to Tesla based model. So I think so. Whatever Elon has said about the company and what his aims are, currently we don't see that happening. And I feel so BYD might are looking far much better, and they might be able to unlock all these things quicker than Tesla.
And from my perspective, I don't really understand what's going on because it feels like Elon Musk is kind of giving up, and it's a little bit surprising because he really, first of all, he crushed Ford and GM and
Yep.
U.S. manufacturers
Yep.
for sure. So he was driving down the prices. He was getting more efficient in his manufacturing, and he had the
Yep.
capability to really reinvent stuff. I think that one of the things he was looking at was, like how to do a stamping of the whole body and all that, which didn't seem to work. So what's the strategy? What is the end game here?
I'll be honest. Elon Musk has a great vision where he wanted to basically shift all vehicles from petrol to electric, and he, as I mentioned, he was the front runner for it for a long time. But because his firm believes in a D2C model, as well as they want to produce all the vehicles in house, supply chain wise, it doesn't make too much sense. It's not cost effective. You can say that because firm like BYD, who completely believes in taking help of local countries to mass produce their vehicles, it's first of all getting more cheaper for them, and cost saving is one of the major factors. If you can make anything for a cheaper of the same quality, you just win the war, like you win the cost war. So I feel BYD in that department is somewhat doing a better role. I feel their supply chain is somewhat better. And secondly, the current environment in US where the tariffs are a huge issue is also pushing back the firm. Like Tesla wanted to enter Indian market, but they have a tariff of 110% slapped on their vehicles, which is first of all very alarming. Secondly, it's not cost friendly. Like what Elon wanted to do at the first place: make a cost-friendly, cheap vehicle for everyone to drive.
Hmm.
So I believe these factors.
Okay. And what's the possibility that there's a backlash against Chinese manufacturers in various countries like Europe? And, and you just got a short amount of time to answer this. We also got a question from Roman, which kind of connects with that. He says, BYD has made tremendous strides in Europe, and now Xiaomi and in China is offering competitive EVs. Do you see Tesla regaining market share in Europe in the next 2 years, with and without the concept of retaliation, let's say, against cheap Chinese products?
So as per the latest news as of February, Elon Musk has hired a new VP for the regions of Africa, Europe, and South Asian market, where he is trying to regain the European market, get the hold back on that specific region, because majorly Tesla dominates North America and Europe region. I'm not sure what strategy they're looking with, but they're trying to make some changes, maybe build something localized, trying to cut cost. They're trying to work on it. But to be honest, looking at the current scenario, the geopolitical scenario also, I feel BYD, because of their model, the business model they're running for automotive, it'll be extremely difficult for Tesla to regain the market share in India.
Okay, great. Well, how does it feel to make it to this point?
It absolutely feels amazing. Andrew, I've been following you for a long time and seeing your videos, so it just feels great to be part of one of those videos, case competition. So yeah.
Yeah, well, you should feel very proud to make it there. Competition's tough, and it's awesome. And this whole competition brings me back to when I was your age, and I really wanted to see what I was capable of and take on the challenge. So congratulations to you and all the other finalists for taking on the challenge. So well done. And then we'll see you in the Slack channel.
Thank you so much, Andrew.
All right.
Have a nice day.
Yep. Take care. Well, that was Divyansh, who has presented Tesla, which is such an interesting story. This is the Global Equity Valuation Competition. My name is Andrew Stotz. That's our final finalist. And a lot of great presentations today. I'm really impressed, and I'm really excited to go back to the judges and work through it to try to figure out who was number one and who was number two and who was number three. If you want to build a competitive advantage in company valuation, join us in the Valuation Masterclass Bootcamp, or join us right here